Okay, how much damage can a little bit of water do? Take, for instance, this glass. Let's suppose you had a 16 by 80, pretty big single wide home. Okay, here's about 8 ounces of water. And suppose this went into that little depression in that little slide you just saw. It went in, ran under the skirting, went under the home, and it soaked into the ground. Okay? So let's say half of it soaked into the ground. So that leaves us with a little bit less. Now there's a puddle there. And this little puddle is just laying there. And it starts to evaporate. Now about half of that runs off of there. So now we've got just a little tiny bit of water. Now this is the amount of water that evaporates. Okay? Now this water evaporating is going up underneath the home. Now you notice in the slide, it didn't have any ventilation on that skirting. So some of it's going to leak out, but not very much. The vast majority of it is just going to enter the cavity area under the home. So let's just say a little bit goes out. Okay? Not too much. It does escape. All right, so we're left over with this amount of water. I don't know, 3-4 ounces. Not too much. This water right here is going to go into the floor of the 16 by 80. You'd say, well, you know, they spread that out all over the home. How bad could that be? Okay, here's your test. You're living in this 16 by 80. Every time it rains, take this much water in a glass and throw it in the living room floor. Okay? Do that for 5 years. If you do this for 5 years, what do you think is going to happen to the living room floor? Well, of course, it's going to swell up and the rug's going to stink and it's probably going to fall out one of these days because you can't go doing this for 5 years. You see, water has a cumulative effect. Floors and walls don't heal once they dry out. They take a hit, and then they take another hit, and then they take another hit, and after a while, there's not much left. So, if you do this and it goes bad in 5 years, and you had a 30-year loan, there's 25 years left to pay, right? Now you got a hole in your floor, 25 years left to pay. Probably you're not too happy about all this. A little bit of water over a long time. Who said it had to be 5 years? How about if it took 10 years? Then you got 20 years left to pay. You still got a lot. 10 years, you don't want floors falling out of these things. So this little bit of water can do it over a long period of time. You want it as dry as a bone under that house. And then that home will last as long as it takes to pay for it.